This is Michelle Holang, the Chinese Jamaican Real Sparkle Diva, and tonight we're talking about aligned versus adrenalized. How do you come to lead from your center when the world, even when the world feels like it's falling apart? And tonight, I think that for the most part, we don't even think about that. We don't think about where am I leading from, where am I coming from. It's how we're in the space where we just know who we are and we show up the best way we can. However, what if there were a way that you could look at yourself and realize that you have a choice, and a choice for how you show up every single time? And instead of being in a place where you're thinking, am I performing okay? Am I showing up okay? Are people perceiving me in the way that I want them to perceive me in, or do I even know how I am showing up? Instead of being there, it is really just being in a place of being fully authentic, present with who you are, comfortable in your skin, comfortable with just knowing that you're showing up, trusting your intuition, trusting your knowing, and just being being everything that you can be without having to have that adrenaline rushing. Because when you look at it, you may find that you're just totally running on adrenaline, because when you think about it, you're exhausted, but you have a way of putting on a mask, perhaps, or just giving it that extra push and doing what you have to do before you get to your quiet space and you can just relax and recoup and recharge. So when many years ago, I guess I realized that something wasn't quite right. I was putting together a quality management system for an oil and gas company. And my children were still young, and I was running late. I remember the night, and I was late because I had to carry them somewhere. I was taking them to piano lessons, and the phone was ringing. My husband was upset. I was still at work. I'd lost track of the time, and I was really tired because I'd been burning the midnight oil. And at that time, I was annoyed and frazzled and all that. And I think when I looked at that later on, I was talking to my mother because she was my confidant. She was my mom, but my best friend also. And she said, Michelle, you're you're not your thoughts. You need to be able to slow them down. You need to be able to look at them, and you need to be able to rest and relax. But I couldn't, because I was so driven to get everything done at work, to get everything done uh, for my family, to to drive fast to get home to pick them up and get them to class on time. Although it was really, and all that is going on. So that's what told me that I was definitely off center. You may not be there, you may be already better than that, but what I've realized over the course of the last decade or couple decades, that I've been on this healing spiritual path, or looking at how can I be a more authentic me? How can I be more in tune with what is driving, what is my purpose, what are my values? How can I be a better mom, a better colleague, a better leader, a better person? How can I be more in control of myself, not so reactive, not so, if you will, some people would say I'd steamroller them, because I was just so excited about doing things and getting things done that I would just steamroller people with the energy I had. And so over all this time, the question then, as I went through this path, there were a lot of inputs because I was taking a lot of healing modality, getting schooled up on that, coming to terms with, that there was energy and vibration, there is frequency, there is healing at a level that we can't see. There's things that we don't understand, but that still work. And there's science now catching up with all of this. There's Rupert Sheldrake's morphic fields that I was talking about when my child was like 2 years old and he was playing Super Mario and he was actually demolishing all the adults, my husband's friends, and they were going, "How is this kid beating us?" And we know this stuff, and my child was beating them up, and I was talking about morphic fields from back then, and that was somewhere 1980 86. And so the science is now catching up. People know about, they talk about morphic fields all the time, about the zero field. And then, of course, there's that the double slit experiment and how things shift, and if the observer effect. And when you look at something, you keep it stuck in position. When you are able to take your attention off of it and let go, you can have beautiful things and miracles happening. And that there's frequencies and frequencies. They now talk about the solfeggio frequencies. There were 6 and now there's 9. And these frequencies have different effects on healing, and they do different things, from healing DNA, which is 528 hertz, to bringing you back into balance, to transcendence, which is, I forget which frequency now. But the whole point of it is that they've done experiments. They've used the 528 frequency to heal DNA and to change it. And they're using frequencies to heal and do different things in many different areas. And so how does this line up with tonight's talk about alignment and adrenaline? And you see, the thing with alignment is that if you understand everything is vibration and frequency, and if you understand that the law of attraction, which is what you focus on, is what you will attract and what you will pull towards you, then if you are in alignment with yourself, meaning are you in alignment with your values? Do you even know what those key, maybe handful, 8 to 10, 5 to 10, 5 to 15, whatever are those things? And I like to call them your guiding lights, as to the things that you do in your day to day that will keep you on your path. So when you do something, you feel good. You're not feeling off, because if there are your core values and you do something that doesn't align, doesn't agree, is in conflict with that core value, then what's going to happen is you're not going to feel good about it. You're going to, it's something where it just doesn't sit right, and it's your thoughts always go back to it. Did I do I don't feel good, I broke someone's trust or whatever. And those, the values, if you understand those, and that's one of the first things that bring you into alignment, is knowing that you're observing and keeping to your values. And then after that, there's purpose. Do you know what your purpose is? Where are you going? What are your goals? Do they line up? Does your purpose that you are focused on achieving, is that now in support of your core values? And when you get through that, it is, what are the things that you are thinking, and are your thoughts in alignment with where it is that you wish to go? And so it's a very deep subject. The adrenaline part now comes in when we're in going about our day, and we're doing things and we're under pressure to perform, to deliver. There is a point where you may be pushing so hard that you are having to make decisions, and those decisions may not be the easiest decisions. And then the question then becomes, are you making those decisions from being centered? And it's a very easy decision, because even though you're under pressure, you can just you look at it and you know that's the right thing from your knowing, from trusting yourself, from what you have, all the data you have available to you. And there's something, because we all talk about, or not everybody, but it is common to talk about gut, knowing, having that gut feeling, having that goosebump, where if something's true, some people feel that as goosebumps on their arms coming up, raising. Some people feel goosebumps when it's something bad. But bottom line is, how do you use, is there a way you use your body to tell yourself that you can trust your knowing that when you get that feeling, it's good or bad for you, or the right choice or the wrong choice. And when that happens, then you can tell if you're in alignment. So the adrenaline part of it is, we get to be reactive, frazzled, fear fueled, trying to please or meet expectations of other people. Whereas from the aligned state of leadership, it's where you're clear, you're calm, you have the clarity. You may have things going, everything's falling apart, but you have that clarity of what all the moving parts are. You know who's there to support or who's there to assist, and you are decisive because you just have this knowing. You are able to draw in those who can help you just because you're grounded, and you have that vision of the outcome that it is that you need to achieve or get to. So where are we with this now? Sparkle. This show is called the Sparkle Experience Show. Why? Because sparkle, this energy, this frequency that I have, it helps to get you that clarity. It helps to ground and center. It helps you to get to that space of calm. And how do we anchor? How do you anchor yourself so that you can get into that space of feeling centered and grounded? Some people use meditation. Some people work out. Not everybody's the meditative kind of person. Some people do yoga. But what is it that is there for you? And do you have some way of getting yourself aligned to center? And first off, again, if you don't know what your core values are, maybe spend a few minutes tonight or tomorrow or on the weekend coming up fast, just thinking about what's important to you. Is it family? Is it community? Is it health? For me, integrity is one of the top ones. Always keeping to the truth, knowing what my truth is, and also doing what it is that what I say is what I do, which is how I act. That kind of integrity, where if I share something, it has to be from that space of knowing that it is accurate. There's things that if it's not right, I cannot post, because if it's not exactly to my knowing or my memory of it being accurate, I need to fix it until it's totally accurate. These cards I have here, these are my Sparkle Wishes cards, and I was thinking that maybe I'll see what pops today, just for a little bit of variety on the show, because these cards are, and there's a few jumping right now. My cards jump when they need to be shared. And the first one is, fitness and health. So to be in alignment, fitness and health really helps us to have that energy to show up authentically, to quell the panic inside. Sometimes it's a human reaction to something different or unfamiliar comes up, and the first thing we do is get into a state of fight or flight. Let me check it out. Let me see if this is safe. And so when you're fit and when you're healthy, it allows for you to have that additional energy to process and keep yourself in a calmer state. And I shared on social media this week one of the things I do to keep fit, and that sparkle dance movement, the approximation and dancing to my favorite and only band, Korean boy band, BTS, with all the 7 members, because they inspire me. They have a message and energy. And, they say, speak your truth, be who you are, be true to yourself, stand up for what's right, and stay young. That's one of them too. The next one is invite good luck. So yes, always be open, welcoming to receive good in your life, to know that you are worthy, and to know that you are deserving to have miracles in your life, to have good things show up in your life. And when you're in alignment, when you're grounded, when you're centered, when you can elevate your energy and keep it elevated, then what happens with that is that you will attract more good things to yourself. And when you attract those good things, celebrate, feel good, celebrate, and really feel that joy and that elation inside of you, to give thanks to whomever you give thanks to. I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, so for me it's just giving thanks to universe, to God, to source, and then carry on and keep your level of energy up. So open to options is the other card that showed up, which is really being open to seeing what possibilities show up, be open to opportunities, to possibilities, to knowing that if it looks something like something grand, well, maybe it still is something you can pursue, because when you get into this creative space of knowing what your values are, aligning to those, then if you can keep your energy positive and uplifted, it's amazing what can show up in that space. And so those are the 3 cards that popped up to us tonight. What I want to share with you is, if you're feeling frazzled, if you're not, you're in this space where you are drained and you have things to accomplish in a day, it is a really good thing to become aware of that and consciously decide to take a break. And that might mean a 5-minute or 3-minute or even a 2-minute close your eye period of time in a space. It could be your car, if you can go into your car and just close the door and close your eyes in your car, or in a washroom somewhere, or a, employee room, room somewhere, and just close your eyes and then simply breathe. Close your eyes, breathe in from your core stomach, and breathe in deeply through your mouth, through your nose, sorry, and just breathe in for the count of 3, and then hold your breath for a count of 6 as you think about nothing. Just clear your mind. Just think, maybe for me, I will think about a beach that I really enjoy in San Diego, and see yourself there and really feel it and experience it, and then breathe out through your mouth for a count of 9. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself releasing all the tension, all the fears, all the worry, all the concerns, and breathe out for the space of 9. And do that at least 3 times or 6 times in that space of time. And then just as you come out of that, think of something that is uplifting. Think of yourself and all the things you have to celebrate, and come back into the now. And what you may notice is, when you do that, you have a different level of energy, because when you become aware of your body needing what I call it is a reset, that very short time can allow your whole nervous system to just breathe and relax and get back into center. And then from there, it allows you to keep yourself healthier, because when your inner core, your vibrational rate, when you're able to bring it back up, which is what you just did with that short 3 or 5 minute break, that allows your energy level, your vibration of your body, your system to become to come to a higher level of resonance. And then from there, once you are there, it allows you then to continue on your day without without getting susceptible to all the different elements out there that assail our immune system and are around us all the time. But when your vibrational rate drops too low, then you catch colds and flus and all sorts of bugs. Earlier in the show, I talked about what sparkle is, and you may wonder, well, give me an example. There's a lady, her name is Anne. I met her at a conference where we were there to learn marketing, and we had an assignment. So we were in a group late midnight one night, and I decided to offer everyone a group sparkle session pro bono, and so I did. And just before that, we were relating stories to get to know each other, and Anne brought up a story about, and then she started crying because this was a story rooted in a witnessing of what she thought was the drowning of her 8-year-old daughter in a bathtub full of water. And what was interesting was that every one of us who listened to her story thought her daughter had drowned, but it turned out that she hadn't. So Anne was locked into this state of, I would say she had PTSD, because she could not, she was in such a space of regret of not having spent enough time with her daughter. Even though her daughter was alive, she was still in this state of feeling like she had lost her daughter and that she needed to do so much more. And what happened was that the next day Anne was different. How was that possible? Because in the moment of the sparkle, something was released. And she shared that the next morning when she woke up, she realized she was different. And she no longer had that feeling and that space, that state of being in that total feeling of having failed, having not spent enough time with that regret. And that was that. And even her daughter, when she was giving me a testimonial, said, when Anne was searching for words, you know, I would never, without your help, Michelle, I would never have got out of that. And her daughter, little Emily, said, that bubble, Mom, that bubble. And then there's another person, his name is Robert, and he was stuck. He came to me because he was stuck. And he said the next day, he said he was driving a long distance and all of a sudden his body just started to buzz with this energy. He said it was amazing. It was this energy. And after he realized his perspective on life had shifted, and he thought differently about things. And he said there is no explanation, no words can express what he felt or why or how it worked, but he said it works. Whatever it is you do, Michelle, it works. And that is sparkle. And then there's Catherine, and Catherine, she actually came on to, she's one of my clients, a dear friend too, and she came on to a call with 4 other ladies, and the video is up on LinkedIn. And her experience was she had got diagnosed with a problem with her eye, and her eye was hurting her. Her blood pressure was very elevated, very, very high. And she came on to Sparkle Dance Movement thinking she couldn't participate at all, but she decided to try just walking to the music. And she did, and she said as she walked, shortly after she started, the pain in her eye disappeared, and she felt good. She felt calm, and she felt this shift in herself, and she said that the next morning her blood pressure had dropped 50 points, top number, and her lower number had dropped 40 points. And then over the course of coming on to Sparkle Dance calls, Zoom calls with me live, she said she would come on feeling a certain way and she'd leave feeling better. And other people on the Sparkle Dance calls reported the same thing, type of thing, which is that shift. And that was because I was dancing, having fun, and sparkling as I danced everyone who was on the call. And so those are just stories about how sparkle works in mysterious ways, but it's grounded in science, in the morphic field that Rupert Sheldrake researched and used to explain the science of why there are these bodies of information that capture energies and frequencies, and when we tap into it, we can draw from these energies. We pull in, when we use words, that morphic field, which is why I don't like using the word that starts with S and ends with S, and that other word that starts with B and ends in D, just because there's that morphic field that you pull down. Even the C word of what everybody fears getting, that word also has its own frequency. So why not just say there's a body, a tumor on my whatever, and we need to remove it, versus using that C word. So again, a little bit of a segue, but anyways, let's now get started with the sparkle segment of this episode 53. You can tap into the sparkle frequency, and what I'm gonna ask you to do now again is to, if you'd like to join me, even on the replay, this frequency gets through this field we're in, and there's no space or time when it comes to energy. Okay, so if you'd like to join me and take a deep breath again through your nose and close your eyes, and just allow yourself to get comfortable in your seat wherever you are. You can move slowly back and forth and until you find that space where you're totally feeling relaxed. Allow your shoulders to release and relax in their shoulder. Feel it, the tension. Allow the tension to leave, and then see this beautiful light from the heavens coming down through a tube, maybe at the top of your head, right above your head at your crown chakra, and then allow that light, gold, glistening, silvery white, maybe with this beautiful shimmer coming in through the heavens, this cosmic healing energy, through into your body, and allow that energy to go wherever it needs to go, all through your body, wherever it needs to go, into all the nooks and crannies, to all the cells, all the organs, everywhere in your body. And as it does that, allow yourself to release, as you breathe out, anything that's not serving you, any concerns, any worries, any regrets, anything that's not serving you. Allow it to go through the window, through the door, through the cord at the bottom of your feet to your very own special crystal. And just breathe in deeply as I send sparkle through to you wherever you are in the world. Just allow, all you have to do is be present and breathe in through your nose, and hold it for a few seconds, and then breathe out through your mouth gently, and just allow yourself to relax and just take everything in that's coming to you now. Just allow yourself to breathe in all the goodness, all the love, all the energy and just allow yourself to release whatever it is that may be weighing you down or concerning you or causing you to lose sleep. Just allow yourself to release that through the window, through the door, through the cord at the bottom of your feet. So what are your values? What's your purpose? What's your mission? What are your goals? And who are you being? Just notice, nothing to do. Breathe in through your mouth, slowly. Just allow and release everything that doesn't serve you as you breathe out through your mouth gently, easily, deeply. There. So take a deep breath in, hold it, release. When you're ready, we'll start wiggling your toes, moving gently where you are, and then gently open up your eyes and notice what you notice, feel what you feel, see what you see. So this isn't about hustling, a hustle detox. It's about remembering that power doesn't come from forcing. Synchronicity brings peace, and aligned action brings flow from the center of your whole being. And stress is not all it's made out to be. Sometimes stress, we get ourselves into feeling stressed just because sometimes we name it. There's a morphic field around the word stress. The more we use the word stress, the more stressed we become. That's what I've come to, that I knew actually before I even started doing this work, because I abolished the word stress and bored from as my kids were growing up and as I went about life, because I had a feeling that those words just had this energy around them. So question is, can you go, even though you're maybe saying I feel stressed, can you go through the next day or the rest of the day without using the word stress and thinking of a different way of expressing that, and then noticing over the next few days or comparing it to when you did use the word stress versus when you stopped using the word stress for that one day, if you can do that. And I would love to find out if you notice a difference with that, because I'm sure for myself that you will notice a difference. And so, can you actually spot when you're leaning or leading from being aligned to when you're leading from this sense of, have to get it done, the pressure to get it done, the adrenaline, all of that, and afterwards realizing that you're totally spent because there was so much adrenaline running through you. And adrenaline is good, but you can operate from centered, where it's not draining your energy and you're being powered up because of your engaging your core energy, because it's in alignment. It's you're tapping into your knowing, versus this other space where you may not actually feel totally aligned with what you're doing, or you may be feeling pressured or fearful, versus being totally totally for and with the energy and with the direction you are going in, because it was a decision you made, and you're totally behind that decision because you know it's the right decision. Do you notice that difference in how I've explained it? This is what being CEO of you is all about. This is what I teach my people who join my 90-day signature program, that the new the new cohort is starting up on Monday, October 27th. And it's open now. The enrollment is open. So if you'd like to, you can go to bceofofyou.com and see what, if it resonates with you. If you have questions, send me an email at info@mentormem.com. Or if you'd like to schedule a meet and greet to discuss what this whole program is about and what's the difference between it and other programs out there. The sparkle is the difference. The frequency is the difference. It's something that's there present. You can get you'll get more from it when you put in the effort and when you do the work. But having said that, you'll also get the benefit of the frequency of sparkle by joining the program. And that in itself is an acceleration of progress. Excuse me. I hope this was useful, and I hope that you will explore what being the CEO of you is all about. Again, it's going from a space of a knowing when a decision is made. It's not being pulled left or right. It's just being centered, grounded, and being able to make those difficult calls under pressure. Just being totally in a space of calm, centered alignment, versus the adrenalized rush, gripping sometimes with that fear of, am I doing the right thing? Being CEO of you, you will know you're doing the right thing because you're tapping into not just your cognitive knowing, but your soul, your intuitive knowing, and that presence of just having that overall sense of peace and calm in that decision you've made. And with that, now I'd like to say good night. If you would like to see other episodes, do check out my YouTube channel at thesparkleexperienceshow.com, and you'll see shorts, and you also can watch full episodes. And here's the thing, towards the end of many of the episodes, there is a sparkle segment, and each episode has a different sparkle, just because the intention is slightly different totally. Okay, so with that, have a good night until the third Wednesday of the month. We'll see you. Blessings, sparkles, and love to you all.